What's up, guys? Welcome to Wednesday with the Wife, episode something. I believe it's 5, 6, somewhere around in there. But today we want to talk about finances.
No,
No,
that's not really what you call it.
budgeting.
How to live on one income.
How to live on one income.
Is that thunder?
I don't think so.
Did you hear it?
Yes, I think it's a truck.
We don't have trucks like that in our subdivision.
We're going to talk. I don't even know what we're talking about. Welcome to Wednesday with the Wife, episode 5, 6, somewhere around in there. But today we're going to talk about living on one income. I honestly, look at me like that. I feel like it's God's design. Now, I'm not going to say it's a sin if the wife works, but it certainly is God's design for the wife to stay home, make the home, be a homemaker, serve her husband, serve her children. Definitely not a sin. I'm not calling you out if you can't, but it is definitely something to strive toward. We just wanted to share a little bit of how we do it and some tips and tricks. Maybe you can do it too.
Okay.
The first thing we're going to talk about is how we budget. One income. May not always be easy, but we do it. And the way we do it is made it a whole lot better. In the
We're very
beginning,
strict.
yes. In the beginning, she handled all the finances, and then I handled all the finances. And it worked great both ways, but the system that we have now works even better. We both sit down, we both do it, we both come up with solutions. So, first thing, set your budget as low as possible. So say you make X amount every week, you know you're going to make it, set your budget lower than that. The reason being, that gives you a little bit of cushion if you miss a day, have to call in sick, whatever. You've got a little bit of cushion there to work with. And what we do, anything extra goes into envelopes. You always want to set up envelopes for things that, car expenses, house expenses, something for her, something for me. That's kind of how we have our envelope system set up. Oh, fur babies, you got to have one set up for them because they get sick just like we do. It's whatever works for your family. Everybody has different needs, so you can adjust it. It's nothing set in stone.
Because I normally do this, right?
Yeah.
I
was just going to say, you did set up the envelope system.
Yeah, I set up this whole system a while back, but the way we do it, and I don't know if this is more helpful than what he was saying. Is it okay that we're getting notifications? The way we do it, without being too personal, is there's a set amount that he brings in every week that we know is a guarantee. Okay? But with his job, he makes commission. So, we don't base any of our living, like our monthly bills, off of any of his commission. We base it on the absolute guaranteed minimum that he will bring home. And we have cut out bills and cut out things that we didn't need so that we could pay everything with that certain amount. Anything over that amount, we divide up into envelopes. Like he said, there's fun money for me and for him, and then you have necessities like the cars and the pets and things like that. But before we ever started putting into any of the envelopes or anything like that, we set up a savings account. So anything over his bottom amount, low amount, we did say a savings account. So before you start your envelopes, before you pay yourself, have a savings account. So we did that, and then I would pay off debt before you do your envelopes. But if you don't have debt and you have a savings, live on your bare minimum and then put in envelopes everything else. So that basically what the goal is that on payday, you pay all your bills for that week. Okay? From paycheck to paycheck, pay all your bills that are due. Anything left, put in your envelopes. That way your bank account is basically at zero. So then you don't overspend and then be like, oh no, we needed this, we needed that, because you didn't pay your bills yet.
Right.
And that's including your grocery and gas budget. You pull all that out on the day that you get paid. So you have all of your necessities taken care of day one. And then you have, if you want anything or anything like that, it's in your envelopes for the week.
What she was talking about, savings. Set a goal for your savings account. Say you want to start at $1,000. Shoot hard for that $1,000. Once you hit that goal, you can set another goal for your savings account. But that first goal needs to be achieved as soon as possible. After that, you can start breaking off, into envelopes, a little bit of savings, however you want to do it. But you need that first chunk in savings just in case you need it.
Yeah. And this, the most important thing, I think, with this budget, and what I tell people who ask, is on payday, pay your bills that are due from that date to the next payday. Get out your grocery budget, fill your cars up with gas, everything on payday. And what's left, if you've already have your savings and all that stuff to care of, what's left, put up in your envelopes for things you want or things you will need in the future. But most important, I think, is get everything paid up on payday.
Yeah, that way you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about, did I do that? Because sometimes you think you paid it, but you didn't. So we have a little whiteboard over here. The day we set up budget, and we actually have our budget set up until like July.
Yeah, we're all the way done until July.
Yeah. So I know what I'm going to make before it hits the bank. So we pull out the whiteboard, we look at our budget, write everything down. I make little squares before and after each one. Then that way we can check it off when it's been paid, and then we check it off when it's cleared the bank. Just a little checks and balances there. It really works out great and saved us a couple of times.
Right. There's something I was going to say.
Unnecessary bills. I like the way she's got it written. Unnecessary bills, if you don't need them, don't pay them. Don't have them. Don't even bring them into your house. But the way she's got it wrote down is cable and then garbage. And I laughed about that because cable is garbage. We actually had it, and it just got to the point that we weren't watching it at all. We got it, and we had like the sports channels and this and that, and everything just kind of got too much for me to watch. I didn't like it. You can't watch a TV show nowadays without something being said, done, seen. So we just got done away with it. There's no cable. Well, we do Hulu. That way we can pick and choose.
I know I'm interrupting you. I'm really scared the animals are going to catch on fire. Because that cat's getting in the fire.
Yes, the cat is getting in the fire.
Our cats are. Our animals, this is why you need a pet budget. Because they will die. They will burn themselves.
He's not the smartest cat.
He's going back.
Get away from fire.
He loves a fire.
Garbage bill. It may not be much. I think most places it's between $16 and $25 a month. But if you live close to a dump or you have ample time to be able to make it to a dump, save that $20 a month. I mean, it can always go towards something. Phones. Everybody likes good electronics. We want electronics that work, that are fast, and sometimes we get caught up with needing the best thing out. For us, we like iPhones, but we've made the decision.
Verizon will get you with the Edge program.
Yes.
I don't even know if they call it that anymore, but it's those payments.
Device payment.
Device payment, yeah.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
These phones are designed to work for a really long time. They don't need to be upgraded every year. You kind of get sucked into it like, oh, I'm going to go upgrade. It's going to be easy. It's $20. Nah, they're killing you. Use them until they die. I mean, they'll last, what, good 4 or 5 years? No?
A good iPhone will probably last you 2 years if, I'm talking like battery life, like for it to still be optimized and everything for your battery. Now, we have a little bit different view on this situation.
I was dreaming big. I'm sorry.
I like to have the newest tech. I mean, I'm not into a lot of things. Like, I'm not into jewelry. I'm not into clothes. But I like tech. So, I do like to upgrade every year. But instead of, we're talking about the envelope for fun money or an envelope for something you want. Instead of making the device payment, put that money up until you have enough to pay for the new tech that you want. If you're saving it every month and you're like saving for it to buy it, then it's paid for, instead of buying it and having to make that payment and then not having the payment one month or something. And, you know, I'd rather own my phone than rent my phone, if that makes sense.
Right. Avoid device payments. Next up.
No, wait, you skipped one. This goes along with the budget, because part of your bills for the month is gas and groceries. So what we do is on payday, besides paying the bills that are due for that week, we have a grocery budget and a gas budget. We put the gas in our cars on payday, and we grocery shop on payday, so that the bills are paid, the gas is in the cars, and food is in the house for the whole week. So I meal plan. And the way that I meal plan is on the day before he gets paid.
I love her meals.
It just so happens that that's the day all the new ads come out. So I will look through all the ads for what's on sale. Usually just like the meat that's on sale, because I buy all my other stuff at Aldi because it's the cheapest around here. So I go through all the ads to see what meat's on sale, and I meal plan a full 7 days based on the meat that's on sale. So for example, if bone-in chicken breast is on sale, then I know chicken and dumplings that week. You know, so I have a list, or not a list, a book.
Mm-hmm.
It's a notebook full of recipes that I've made over the years. So, but they're pretty much just in my head now. But I just base it on whatever is on sale. So I meal plan for 7 days, and I shop only what's on sale. And I plan my meals around what's on sale, and I only buy what's on my list. My list has every single ingredient that I need when I go to the grocery store, and we buy nothing that's not on the list. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm literally just crossing off, and it don't take us long at all at the grocery store.
She's slick. If you tell her a meal, she'll write down the meal, and then her brain is like ingredients. That's awesome, and it works great, because a lot of times people just go grocery shopping, no list, hungry. That don't work out too well.
Last week on grocery shopping day, we spent $45, and I have 7 meals.
Really?
You were there with me.
Wow, I was already dealing with the buggy though.
Yeah, at Aldi you bag your own, so he was already moved over. But it was $45, and that was all of my meals. Which we only have a family of 3 right now here at home, but it's still 2 big boys. Well, this one and a big boy, so they eat a lot. No, it's not. I'm just saying. If you have little ones, you can do the same thing, but you shop what's on sale, you know? And I'm going to be I was going to film it today, but I just didn't. Some recipe videos. Not sure how to film those yet. I'm just going to kind of do it a few different ways, but I'm going to do the ingredient list, the process, and list the prices. So you'll know just kind of an idea on what you can make for that much, because I always try to cook on a budget. Well, we do cook on a budget.
A little something else we're going to try to implement, because we truly feel like our life is a ministry, because everything that we do, we try to do it according to God. So we're just going to share our life with you guys.
Man, this fire is hot.
It ain't even burning. Next up is buying used cars. A new car will lock you in to an outrageous payment, first and foremost, with interest rates for years, 5, 6, 7 years. It's crazy. Full coverage insurance, out the roof. So if you can, stay away from that. Buy used, and do the best you can to pay cash for used. That used car may not be the best in the world, but if it's going to get you from point A to point B, that's all you need, because we're not a fashion show. I used to be really into the car game, and I loved all of that. And now I'm just like, you know, I want something that's going to get me where I need to go. When it snows, I need to get there. In the rain, I need to get there. I ain't worried about all that fancy stuff anymore.
I've never cared about cars. My van is 20 years. Is it 20 years? Yeah. My van is 20 years old, and I'm going to drive it until it won't run anymore.
It's already blew up once.
And we replaced the Indians.
Indians.
We replaced the engine, and it's fine. Because the way I look at it is, and I think I had it wrote on the other page just to sum things up, but I'll just say it now. People get so excited to buy something new, but
That new wears off.
that feeling fades.
Yep.
But that payment never goes away for years.
Cheers.
So what you were so excited about is going to end up being a burden.
Yeah.
And I would rather go out there and drive my van. My van looks nice. It's 20 years old. The windows do not roll down because they were automatic. I'd rather have the little rolly things, but
I ain't fixed that yet.
the motor went out, but it doesn't matter to me. It still gets me where I need to go, and I'm
Point A to point B. My vehicle, it was actually gifted to me from a dear friend. It may not look the best, it may not sound the best, but it gets me from point A to point B. I'm grateful for that vehicle, and I actually like it quite a bit. It's odd, but I do.
it's 20 years old too.
Yes, it is. And it's got just shy of 300,000 miles.
Does it really?
Yes. But the moral of the story is point A to point B. That's all we need. We're not trying to impress anybody. Don't worry about anybody else. Do what's best for your family.
Oh, this is mine. Don't go shopping.
What?
And what I just saw it on here. It has a J beside it for Jennifer. I have them marked A, J, A. Anyway, don't go shopping because if you go to a store, you're going to want something. I don't know about him. Yeah, he's the same
always
way.
do.
So just don't go unless you have your envelope with your fun money, is what we call it.
Mhm.
Then grab your envelope. If you know you're going to the store, grab your envelope. And if you want something and you've got enough money in your envelope, buy it. If you want something, please don't laugh, and you don't have enough money in your envelope, do not put it on a credit card. And I'm going to tell you how you can avoid that. And people have put this in videos for years.
I ain't never heard of this.
But if you will freeze your credit card in a block of ice in your freezer, and you see something that you want real bad somewhere, and you don't have enough cash for it in your envelope, you can't put it on a credit card because it's frozen. By the time that credit card thaws out, if you come home like, oh, I can't wait to buy this,
Yeah,
and you
don't come home with a hammer. I mean,
sit it out and let it melt. And if it's melted and you still want it, then go get it because you probably really do want it. But I can almost guarantee you that by the time that thing melts enough for you to get it out, you're not going to want whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, so because a lot of people buy on impulse, and that's why people have so much debt. So that's just a good tip because you don't want to cut your credit cards up in case for emergencies because we've paid off our credit cards, but we have them in case of an emergency. If the savings isn't enough, you need to have something to back up, but you don't want to have them at your disposal, you know, because you will just buy whatever.
Right. That being said, I want to talk about my photography bit for a minute. And the block of ice is really smart because it gives you time to think. Now, think about what you need, what you want. Are you going to use it? Do you really need it? And that was my thing going into this photography thing. I had this idea that I needed the biggest, best camera, the best lens. And I don't know if y'all know too much about photography, but it ain't cheap. Some of the cameras are upwards of $1,000 to $5,000. Some of the lenses are anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. And I had it in my head that I needed those things. I put a whole lot of thought into it and talked with her about it. She don't care nothing about photography, but she's smart. We came up with an idea to have the best possible kit on a budget that's going to do everything I need. So put a lot of thought into your purchases because if you don't need it, don't get it. That's just plain and simple.
And another thing that I've advised him on is to buy quality over quantity because sometimes he will be on Craigslist and he'll see this lens for $50. That same lens is like $500. Okay, there's no way somebody's going to sell a lens for $50 that's regularly $500. my opinion on that is save up to your $500 and buy what you know is going to work, what you can warranty. I believe in warranties, because especially when it comes to lenses, because you're taking them off, you're taking them on, you're taking them off, and you can drop them. So I think I've kind of got him out of this Craigslist shopping stuff, because I believe in buying quality over quantity. What's that saying? Buy cheap, buy twice. No,
This is true.
I ain't for that.
I could talk about photography all day, but
Yeah,
I
well,
won't.
next.
The electricity bill. Cut it whenever you can. Shut off the lights. Use cold water to wash your clothes unless absolutely necessary.
And you do not realize how huge that is, because we washed, when Sophie was sick, I don't know if any of y'all know, some of y'all are going to know this. My poor puppy was sick last month, or last week, couple weeks, not too long ago. She puked on everything. I had to put blankets all over my house, all over my couches, everywhere, because it was just, she couldn't control it. So I had to wash everything in hot water and bleach after the fact. Our electric bill is $50 higher from, and the only difference that it has to be more than a week because we got our electric bill. The only difference is the hot water that I use, because we always wash in cold water. So that makes a huge difference. That I didn't realize it made that big of a difference, but it totally did, just by washing all of that stuff in hot water. So that is a tip I did not know about.
A lot of times in the spring and in the fall, there's a good month, maybe 2 months, depending on where you live, that you could just kill your heat pump. Just don't even worry about the heat pump. Open up the windows, close them at night. Let nature just, and it smells great too. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. But if you can cut those 2 months, about 4 months throughout the year, you can either cut your heat pump way back, cut it completely off, and that will actually save you, and you can put that toward envelopes if you want to, or you can put them back toward the bills. That way it's not such a burden whenever they start coming back.
We do this one very regularly.
Group errands together to save gas.
I will, like for example, yesterday, we pay all of our bills online, most of them. But for some reason, our water department makes you go and pay it there. So I could have done that yesterday, but I knew that we were getting out today, and it was near the library, which we'll get to in a minute, and I had a library book to return. So grouping your errands together to save gas. So I waited till today so we could do the water and the library, and now I don't have to go back into town, which we're about 20 minutes from town, I guess. I don't have to go back because I grouped it all together. And I try to group everything on grocery shopping day, which is on Thursdays, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. But if you can, you save a lot of money in gas, because like for me, I go that 1 day a week, and then I don't go anywhere else for the week unless we have like date night or whatever.
Library. Don't buy books. Get them from the library. 9 times out of 10, it's free unless you're late with it. So be prompt on returning them.
And movies too. They have movies there too, and it's free. And if they don't have a book, they will, our library anyway.
Good library.
It will ship it from another library, and if no libraries around here have it, they will purchase the book for you and send you a text and let you know that it's here. So I used to be really big on buying like hard copies of books, and then I went to buying it like Nook books on my iPad, and then I noticed everything I was reading was at the library, so now I don't pay anything for books. So that's a good thing if you like to read.
Now, if it's something that you're going to reference often, you know, you can make that purchase from your envelope. Date night. Always stress the date night, but
date nights are very important, but you can do them on a budget.
Yes.
You want me to take this or you?
They can be quite expensive. I remember, however many years ago when we were in high school, going to the movies was cheap. And it didn't matter where you went. It's not cheap anymore. But in our neighborhood, we have a quote-unquote budget theater who shows the movies right after all the big theaters stop showing the movies. What's that? A week, 2 weeks? It's not long.
Like it's not long.
So we go to the budget theater. We'll go out to eat, and if we get
It's
like
$3 to go to the budget theater. $3.
versus like
11.
someplace, 11 a piece. It's absurd. We'll go out to eat. We try to split an appetizer, and if the entrees are big enough, we'll split the entree too. It saves money, saves waste.
Yeah, if you split an appetizer and you split an entree, and then you can split the dessert,
Yep.
then you have got like a 3-course meal, and you only paid half for each of it. And trust me, that's plenty of food, because all restaurants' portions are way more than
large.
you need.
Game night. We have a weekly game night, or we attempt to have a weekly game night. Invite everybody over. We'll cook. What's that got to do with the budget?
It has to do with the date night. Instead of going out for a date, he's so crazy. Instead of going out for a date, sometimes we have a date in, and we'll invite other couples over.
Mm-hmm.
And we have game night. We'll play like Uno or, board game or something like that. And I'll cook. And usually that's not any extra money. It's just a meal that I would have cooked already from my meal planning. I'll just plan on cooking like a double, like a chili or whatever. I'll do like a double portion. And then whoever comes will bring a dessert or an appetizer and snack foods. So it's cheaper on everybody. And I personally think sometimes it's more enjoyable because you're just hanging out at home. And our game nights usually end up going to like 1.
Oh yeah, all night.
Midnight, 1 in the morning. So that can be bad when you have to work the next day, but it's just fun to get together. Yeah.
That being said, date night. A lot of times we choose to stay here for date night. We'll find something, go to Redbox, get us a movie, cook dinner, we'll eat, watch the movie. There's a couple of benefits in that. You're saving money, saving gas, and you're saving some of the drama that you see out in the world.
Oh my gosh. What was it? We went to Applebee's one day.
Oh yeah.
We couldn't even enjoy ourselves at Applebee's because the people behind us their mouths were so vulgar, and it was like
loud.
I was just feeling like
Oh,
I was convicted a word. I was like,
we felt dirty because of what they were doing.
Just their mouth, and I did not enjoy myself at all. So I would have much rather been at home. But we don't have young kids either, so it's
right. So it is peaceful, quiet.
Yeah.
We understand if you got young kids, you want to get out, spend some time, adult
And
time.
you need
just
to.
get out.
But you can do it on a budget, and have an envelope for date night.
Yeah.
And don't go out until your envelope. Even if you only put $5 a week in that envelope,
Yep.
You got $20 at the end of the month. Go to Applebee's and do 2 for $20.
Yep.
But don't sit near the bar section.
Nope.
Get you a booth in the back.
But that's it, guys. Be content with what you have. Happiness is not an object. It comes from within. It doesn't matter what you buy. It doesn't feel as good as getting out of debt. I guarantee it. Just the peace that comes with it.
Or, in my opinion, nothing feels as good as knowing that you are in the biblical design for marriage, which is the woman home, taking care of the home and nurturing her husband and her children and managing the home. I know that I don't make a paycheck. However, all of the things that I do
Very significant.
in budgeting and meal planning and looking for the sales, all of those things, if you took the money that I save, it's the same as a paycheck, because I save us a lot of money. People are shocked at how I can go to the store and spend $50 and feed us for 7 days, but it is just the way that I meal plan, and it's years in the making.
Work.
Yes, it is work, but I love it, and that's kind of why we wanted to do this video, because it's very important to be able to be in the biblical design for marriage. And I think that that's what keeps our marriage strong. A lot of people ask that question, what do you do to stay? It's because we're in God's plan,
Mm-hmm.
and our roles are the same. I mean, our roles are the same. Our roles are the way He wanted them to be.
You remember the couple that asked you if you worked, and whenever you said you stayed at home, she was just overjoyed, and she was so happy.
Yeah.
It was a cute little elderly couple. It was awesome. But
She says you never see that anymore. And she was so excited and everything. But
It was
I
awesome.
think there was somebody that asked us if there was just a practical tip on marriage. And some people would say this isn't practical because they can't live on one income. But I would challenge you that you can live on one income because he doesn't make a ton of money.
No.
We do this all on what you all would be very surprised, a very low budget. It just takes effort and dedication
Planning.
and planning.
Teamwork.
And there's a word I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it.
Let's think.
I feel like Blue's Clues is my thinking cap. Drive,
Yes.
like
Determination.
a want. It takes a
Yes.
want.
Yes, you have to want to get out of debt. You have to want to work on budgeting everything with one income.
And what's more important, having a new car or being home with your children and taking care of your husband? It's prioritizing.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it can be done overnight, but I think that if your two people are working, well, I don't think that, I know that you can get there.
Just set a
Just
goal.
work
start
towards it.
chipping away little by little at your bills, your income versus outgo. Just chip away at it. Make plans. Set a goal for yourself, for your marriage, for your family.
I'm going to shrink because I had to stand up. This is ridiculous that me standing up is way down here. But my foot's asleep.
But that's it, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. As always, if you got any questions, comments, or anything, drop them down below. We'll try our best to get to you. Thank y'all and God bless you.
I can't feel it.